All right, folks, we are back in the Pratt Pack gym. And, I think tonight everybody deserves a break. So why don't you go to Eaton Park, the place for smiles, and let them cook up your Friday night dinner and maybe take a few things home so you can enjoy that Penguins game. And hopefully you'll have a victory party, so get a couple of extra smiley face cookies. In the meantime, hopefully also Coons Market, McKnight Road, great cafe with your light beer from Miller. And this, folks, whether it's baseball spikes, football cleats, or you're lacing up the skates, Rooney's always goes good with anything that is black and gold. That available there too. And of course in the Valley, the trucks are rolling at Ed Shewalk's distributor over in Rochester because they're getting ready for a big hockey night at the Canadian Tire Center and on the NBC Sports Network. 2-1, the Penguins are trailing, best of 7 Eastern Conference Final. The big question is still waiting to find out whether or not Marc-Andre Fleury will get the opportunity to redeem himself. 4 goals in, folks, just over 13 minutes. Matt Murray came in, and he looked pretty good. Only 1 goal, 20 shots on goal. Pens did lose that game by a score of 5-1. You got Murray, who's 22, and Fleury, who's 32, but you can't argue the fact that Marc-Andre Fleury is the reason why the Penguins have gotten to where they are in the Eastern Conference Final. Let's welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on the Comcast Sports Line, PLB Sports, and of course the man behind Blue Skies, his son Ryan. Again, belated happy birthday on the 18th, just yesterday, turning 30 years of age. Ty Ballou, how are you, Ty? Good morning.
Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Pittsburgh. I'm doing great, and looking forward to a huge hockey night tonight here in Pittsburgh and in Ottawa.
I have to ask you the biggest story, Murray or Fleury? Your thoughts?
I don't even know why there's a question. I don't know about you, Rob, but I sometimes have a bad morning or a bad day. And I think it comes down to what you said earlier. The Penguins are not in this position whatsoever if it isn't for Marc-Andre Fleury. I think it was a shutout the game before. Granted, it was a horrible first period. Marc-Andre didn't look good. I'm a big fan of Matt Murray, but I think you have to go with Marc-Andre Fleury. First of all, he's earned it. He's been the hot goalie. He had a horrific period. It was the right decision for Sullivan to pull him and to put Murray in, and Murray looked great, which only underscores that we have 2 tremendous goalies on this team. But I think you have to go with Marc-Andre Fleury, and I think you have to ride him, and you have to allow him to finish out the series and hopefully go into the Stanley Cup. He's earned it. He had a horrible, first 10 minutes of the game, and I hope he starts tonight. So I don't know why there's even a debate.
Hey, listen, let's make no mistake about it. They've got a pretty fair goalie in their net, too, by the name of Greg Anderson. Crosby, Kessel, and Malkin have been the only ones who've been able to figure him out. So you got to give a little credit to Ottawa and their netminder.
I agree, too. And, it's very cliche, Rob, but he has to get off to a strong start. We know that Ottawa is going to trap. They're going to have strong defense. We're not going to score a lot of goals. And I think it comes down to very simplistic. I think that the team that scores first is going to be in the driver's seat. Not that they can't score a number of goals in this game, but the Pens over the last 3 or 4 games have not really dialed up their offense. So I think the Pens have to come out strong. I think they have to get on the board quick. I think it's going to get their confidence. I hope Marc-Andre Fleury is in net. And, if they're going to get down a goal or 2 going into the second or third period, it's going to be very, very difficult up there in Ottawa. So I just hope, and I don't know what Sullivan can do right now. These players are all professional. They've been there. They won the Stanley Cup last year. Yes, Rust is out. Schultz is out. It's going to be, difficult. I think Hornquist, I think is game day, but I think he's also out as well. But, Daly's back in the lineup. They need strong defense. 2 goals. They could probably afford to give up 2 or 1, but they just have to come out strong in that first period. And if they get behind, the Penguins, at least recently, have not shown a great ability to come back from behind. So I just really hope they bring their A game in the first period.
And it's like any sporting event. Sometimes it just bounces your way. And defenseman Mark Malot's goal basically bounced off the mask of Marc-Andre Fleury and knocked in by a defenseman for the Penguins, Ian Cole. Derek Brassard scored. Zach Smith, who rarely, gets in the scoring column, he scored. So it was just one of those nights. And I think you have to understand, like Malcolm said, you got to simply play better, and you got to forget about the noise and forget about the past and just live in the moment. And Jay Ginzel, sooner or later, just one of many players who's going to have to get a hot hand again. The guy had 9 goals in 12 games, and he's been ice cold of late. And the Penguins have had a lot of injuries. I mean, Rust and Hornquist. It has been a rough road for the Penguins as far as on the health chart. So they've had a lot of obstacles to overcome, but I believe they get this win here tonight on the NBC network. It starts at 8 o'clock when the puck drops. Once again, the Pens, I think, are in the driver's seat.
I think so too, Robbie. This time exactly a year ago, I believe they were down 3-1 to Tampa, and I think everyone at that point in Pittsburgh, I don't think it was completely writing off the team, but we were very concerned about it, and they bounced back. They certainly have the firepower. The Ottawa coaching staff and team believes. I think that we have the stronger team offensively, and you're right. Gessel needs to step up. Kessel has had a good series. We need Sid and Gino to certainly step up. Hagelin's been a little bit non-existent. Maybe he's still hurt a little bit too, but we have the firepower. We've been there before. I really just think you just need to wipe out the last game. The game didn't happen. Done. Put Fleury back in there. And just dial up the offense here the first 2 periods, and let's see what happens. But even if they get down 3-1, which I hope doesn't happen, we've shown last year the ability to come back here and they can still win that series. But I hope it's 2-2 coming back in for this weekend.
Hey, also some business news, because you're all about branding and you know how much you and I love it. And I happen to be wearing an orange and white Nike hat today, which, strange but true, the same colors of that Wheaties box that you'll find at Coons Market. Jordan Spieth of the PGA Tour recently announced a deal with Wheaties. I like the fact that Wheaties continues to do stuff like that.
I do too. I mean, Wheaties is a company, as General Mills owns that brand. Really started us all back when, and we've kind of taken it to a different level. Wheaties puts athletes on products. We make the athletes actually the products themselves. But yeah, Jordan Spieth certainly very deserving of that, and it's great that General Mills does it. And it's a great product in Wheaties, and it's certainly a nice collector's box. I think they're projecting to sell 4 million boxes, if I read that correctly. So it's good for them and good for Jordan. And I think there's 3 majors left, so let's see what happens the rest of the way.
Yeah, still the breakfast of champions. Ty Ballou, PLB Sports Blue Skies Charity on the Comcast Sports Line, and I'm sure we will talk again as we move through the postseason. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Rob. Thanks, Pittsburgh.